If you enjoy this video, make sure to click the subscribe button and also the notification bell so you never miss out on another absolutely fantastic review. Enjoy! Hello everyone, it's DiegoDoom here, bringing you another review. Today I'll be reviewing S.H.MonsterArts Gamera 1999. This version of Gamera comes from the 1999 film Gamera 3: The Revenge of Iris. At this point, we should all know the history of the film. If not, check out my review of X Plus Die 30cm series Gamera 1999 by clicking the card on screen right now. A fun fact about that review, that was my very first X Plus figure. Be sure to check out the 1999 film Gamera 3: The Revenge of Iris, it is absolutely fantastic. S.H.MonsterArts Gamera 1999 is another fantastic release in the S.H.MonsterArts line. Gamera has a fantastic sculpt, paint apps, great accessories, and a great range of articulation. Let's jump right into it and take a look at Gamera himself. Gamera has a great range of articulation. First, let's start with the head. We can look up, down, left, right. The mouth can open up. Now, inside of the mouth, it looks like the tongue can move, but I'm pretty sure it cannot. I tried to use a special tool to lift up the tongue, and I received a ton of resistance, so I really think this is glued in here, so be careful when handling this tongue. The neck is on a ball joint, so we can look very high up, very far down, look to the left and the right, which is definitely very cool. The shoulders have a great range of rotation. We have a bend here in the bicep. We can also swivel the hand here, which is pretty cool. Jumping down to the legs, we can kick forward this much, backward this much, rotate around in the socket. We have a very nice bend here in the knees. The ankles can rotate and also the feet can tilt and swivel. And then finally, we have Gamera's tail comprised of several different ball joints. It's very posable and definitely very cool. Now, I know it seems like Gamera is limited, but really this is very good considering what Gamera is as a character. So this is very nicely done. When it comes to sculpt and paint apps, Gamera is absolutely fantastic. Starting from the top, we have the head. At the very top of the head, we have a series of dark forest green semi-sharp spines that go from the back of the head down to Gamera's menacing brow. We can see this dark forest green is used throughout the body. The brow has a large angular sculpt, adding to Gamera's intense look. The eyes have a great sculpt with glossy emerald green irises and black pupils. Around the eyes and going down the neck, we can see various scaly creases and folds. Something I noticed about the eyes, the right eye is looking forward while the left eye is looking upward. I really wish both of the eyes were looking forward. At the tip of the nose, we can see the nostrils, which do not get lost amongst the scaly sculpt. Moving down to the mouth, the sculpt is great, but we have a few issues. The tusks have a large semi-sharp sculpt with a dirty bone paint app. The teeth have a good sculpt with a bone paint app. I really wish the teeth had a sharper and more individualized sculpt. The bottom row of teeth are way too clean and the white bleeds over onto the gums, giving the mouth an odd look. Kinda looks like Gamera is starting to foam at the mouth or something. The inner mouth has a very nice detailed fleshy sculpt with a flesh red paint app. Coming down the neck, we have various deep creases and folds. In the chest and waist, we have the nicely detailed plastron. Each panel of plastron is individually sculpted with various impressions etched in. The plastron has a dark tan paint app with fake green weathering. I think this weathering is meant to replicate Gamera's blood from where he was impaled. I wonder if this is a hint at a possible upcoming damaged version or something. The arms and hands have a nicely detailed muscular sculpt with various creases and folds. The webbing on the hands look great. We have a nice semi-sharp spur on the elbow with a weathered bone paint app. The claws have a semi-sharp sculpt with the same weathered bone paint app as the elbow spur. The legs have a large muscular sculpt with various creases and folds. The feet have a large web sculpt with nice semi-sharp weathered bone toenails. On the back of the calves, we have individual spurs. Spin around to the back, we have Gamera's fantastic shell with a large serrated sculpt and a forest green paint app. Each plate of the shell is individually sculpted with various deep cuts and cracks etched in. We also have various battle damage marks that look awesome. The tail has a great scaly sculpt. On top of the tail, we can see the scales transition to slightly softer creases and folds. Now, as you guys know, I picked up 2 Gamera 1999 figures just in case there were crazy QC issues. There are a few things I noticed. On my second Gamera figure, the left eye is looking a little bit more forward than the first one. As a whole, it would have been better if both eyes were properly looking forward. Also, my second Gamera figure, I noticed the tongue is a bit crooked. When it comes to the teeth on my second figure, they're the same as the first figure. The teeth really should have had a sharper sculpt and the paint app should have been better applied. It looks like the main issue with this figure will probably be the teeth. Outside of that, this really is an awesome release. For accessories, first up we have our plasma fist with the same fantastic sculpt before, except this time it's a very nice burning translucent orange. I really love the smooth gradation between the colors that smoothly transition back to normal at the end of the arm. To attach, remove the right forearm. Now it can be tough when doing this for the first time, so be careful. Once you have the forearm removed, attach the plasma fist and that's it. Now, Gamera can punch through his foes with intense plasma energy. Next, we have our full set of flight parts. We have a pair of flight arms, secondary fins, and an alternate waist. To set this all up, first remove the left and right arms and swap them for the flight arms. Next, remove the plastron panels on the sides of the waist. When you remove these panels for the first time, it can be very hard. I bent my fingernails backwards doing this for the first time, so be careful. Once you remove the plastron panels, attach the corresponding secondary fins. You'll notice one has a round plug which goes into the right side and the other has a T-plug that goes into the left side. Now, remove the legs. When removing the legs, an odd hiccup that can happen, the double ball joint can get stuck in the waist and not come out with the leg. It's not a big deal to pull it out and reattach it to the leg, but be aware it can happen. Once you remove the legs, remove the waist piece. Next, remove the tail. Like with the legs, when removing the waist piece, the center plug can get stuck in the body. If it does, it's easy to pull it out and plug it back into the waist piece. Now attach the alternate waist, and that's it. Now we have Gamera in his fantastic flight mode. To help support Gamera in his flight mode, a base and cradle have been included. This base looks awfully familiar, right? Plug the cradle into the base, and now Gamera has a solid support for flying poses. Now, unfortunately, Gamera does not come with a plasma fireball effect part. You can attempt to use the effect part from our S.H.MonsterArts Gamera 1996 figure, but you have to be very careful if you're bold enough to try this. Gamera's mouth does not open nearly as wide as our Gamera 96 figure does, making it difficult and a bit risky to place the effect part into the mouth. My main concern doing this is the risk of breaking the jaw or Gamera's tusks. You can partly finesse the effect part into the mouth enough to make it work, but you have to have proper support for the effect part. So if you're bold enough to set this up, Gamera can obliterate his foes with a plasma blast. Now that we have the accessories out of the way, let's do some size comparisons. As a whole, Gamera turned out to be absolutely fantastic. The sculpt is very well done, the paint-ups are clean and crisp, the accessories are great, and Gamera is posable. As we saw before, the only major hiccup with this figure is the sculpt and paint-apps of the teeth. It's not that big of a deal, but they really could have been done better. Outside of that, this figure is truly fantastic and I absolutely recommend picking Gamera up. Now, how much does Gamera cost? I imported my Gamera figure for $72, which isn't bad at all. This has been another review by DiegoDoom. Thank you very much for watching and please stay tuned for more figure reviews. To see more S.H.MonsterArts reviews or another absolutely fantastic review, click the links on screen right now. I would like to give a huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. Your support is greatly and sincerely appreciated. Be sure to follow me on social media and remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe.